Thank you.
A creature that resembles a deer and has its own...
know the Revenant.
This cave. And what is that stench? stench is growing worse. There's something ahead. Unbelievable. Why are otherworldly beings here? Things must be getting worse. This is bad. We must complete our mission.
Damn it, I hate this fucking level. So tired of this level. Worst level in the game. Most obnoxious enemies. Hate this part. Give you a save point, like ever. All the worst enemies. Just put them all in one spot. No one likes to fight. Just spam them over and over and put poison everywhere. Great. Because the Dark Souls guys do it. We have to do it too. How about no? Status effects are the worst part. Everything. You can't even apply it to them. It doesn't do anything to them. It only exists to annoy you. So dumb. This level is garbage. Actively the worst part of this game. This stupid poison swamp. Should be like half the length. You have to know nobody likes this by now, but they keep doing it. Don't understand why. Status effects are so obnoxious in this game. The fact that it kills you instead of putting you at 1 HP is so dumb. It's like there's no purpose for it other than to make you not want to play. Let's put these annoying enemies in every spot. They're not even fun to fight. I want this level to end as soon as possible. It's garbage. Level should be optional. All it is spamming status effects and obnoxious enemies over and over again. I don't even want to fight anything. I want this to be over. I give you no save point this whole time. Fuck you. You're past the refund window. We're gonna put a shit level in now. You're stuck with this game now. We're gonna put in the worst level. Limiters are off. Pretty much. I don't think there's anybody who's played this game that actually likes this level. Yep, it's pretty bad. agonizing experience. Like, look, just because Miyazaki puts this in his games does not mean that you have to. Not the be-all, end-all of game design. Like, look, this is not fun. You don't have to do this. It's fine. Your game will be fine without this. It's good that Dark Souls exists, the poison swamp in that game. I wish I could go back in time and erase it. Because now, like, every game does it. Like, nah, man, this is trash. You don't need to do it just because Dark Souls did it.
Not enough. Still a long way to go.
Thankfully, it's almost over.
When I guess let me.
Safely buried now.
Yeah, I wish they would never spawn in this game again. That'd be nice. No more spiders. Like one of the worst enemy types in this game. Just there to annoy you. No real purpose. Great, now I have to do that again because he dies from the poison. Can't handle like one bit of poison. Let's make the worst level the longest one. Status effects in this game are the worst I've ever seen. At least let me use them on the enemies in some capacity. You're going to annoy me with these this much. It's only fair. Nope, not in this game. They can reverse your controls and make you die for nothing. You use it on them and it barely does anything. It adds like 5% damage. thank goodness. Over. Trash level.
The stench of those otherworldly beings. It's coming
Stench of this level. Trash level. Tailor made to piss you off.
Blacksmith we rescued from he's down, and now we can head straight to...
Did you know?
Glad that level is over. I've seen so many complaints about that level. I'm like, yeah, the enemies actually aren't that bad. It's mostly the way that status effects work in this game is the problem. The fact that it accumulates too quickly and that it can kill you, pretty much all of them can kill you, is really dumb. Like, that whole level, you're basically permanently poisoned. And the damage over time ticks in this game when it's you and not the enemies are insanely large. So it's one of those games where the status effects are very one-sided. You're constantly annoyed by them, but they don't really... you can't really use them on the enemies. It's too situational. I think that's part of the problem. They don't really give you any way to apply status without using an item until you basically already finished it. I hope that's one of the things that they address. Status effects are too strong in this game towards the player. they're like insanely overpowered. The fact that they can just chip your HP. Potions only help so much because you only have a few of them. I don't really think that's a compromise for how annoying they are. weird because in like Neo, status effects are like actually viable. They're viable in that game. You can realistically use them to apply status, and it can be like the main thing of your build. Not in this game. Barely.
Strange. How could a city as great as Palenian end up like this?
That means someone strong was behind this.
What's up, Alvi? Hello. How you doing? Yeah, how does the biggest gaming event of the year have such a bad stream? Literally like repeating and rewinding, lagging and out of sync. How does that happen? That direct was not worth staying up for. That's alright. Games are $80 anyway. The same games I can already play on Steam Deck for like a fourth of the price. Don't exactly need a Switch 2 right away. They had like one game I wanted, which was the Musou game, but I don't know, they barely showed anything on it. They went into depth about like Mario Kart and stuff, but the Musou game, they barely said anything, so I don't know. I'm interested, but I need to know a little bit more, because that's like a $600 investment. It can cost me like $600 to play that game, and it better be good. And they didn't really talk about it that much, so.
Frank,
It's a lot of money for me.
have a
I'm
heart.
definitely not a
how could you be so
millionaire
cruel to
content
an old
creator.
man?
I'm sure there'll be other games I want to play on it eventually, but their launch lineup is almost entirely PC ports, just with insanely jacked up prices. And I don't really need that, obviously. I already have a PC. I'm not the core market for it. $80 games is nuts. That is legit insane. Now everybody's gonna think they can get away with that. Like, admittedly, people don't want to admit this, but Nintendo games are way better made than most games that are $70 right now. This game I'm playing right now is relatively bug-free until the end, but it's also like a Souls-like, so by the time most people get there, it'll be fixed. Like, most publishers can't charge... They can't charge $80 for a game with how unstable and barely functional those games are now. And I think that's going to be the worst part. Everybody's going to think that their games are worth $80 now, when they're not. No one wants to admit this, but like, if anyone can charge $80 for a game, it's Nintendo. Games very rarely have any kind of like game-breaking bug or anything, which is common with AAA games these days. They're far more broken than, you know, $5 indie games made by one person. Everybody's complaining about the price. I'm like, admittedly, they're the only ones that can really charge that right now. There's been so many AAA priced games that barely function, and it takes them months to fix it. It's like not worth the money. Did I beat Warriors Abyss? Yeah. I gotta make some videos for the update, but my voice has been a little bit messed up because I was sick for like 2.5 weeks. But that's on my backlog. Doing more Abyss stuff, but it's kind of hard for me to talk for 45 minutes straight still. My throat's still a little scratchy, so I can't do a whole lot with it right now. The update's pretty good though. mean, 70's been the standard for AAA. It's just like I said, they barely work. They barely work. That's the problem. They're the most, like, premium priced luxury games to buy, but they barely work. And now everybody's gonna charge $80, and like the stability of the games is not gonna get any better. Stability of premium priced games is like the worst it's been. Look at Monster Hunter Wilds. How much of a disaster that game is. $70. And they have so much cosmetic DLC. And that game sold like 3 million copies already, so there's no incentive to like actually make a good game anymore. And people will buy it anyway. Everybody was complaining about it with the beta test that they did. I'm like, look, it's not gonna magically get better. It's going to run like garbage, and it's not worth $70 because of that. Doesn't matter how good the rest of the game is, it barely works. It's kind of what I'm not seeing a lot of people talk about with the $80 Mario Kart. I'm like, you know that game's gonna be like basically polished to death. It sucks that they're charging more, but Nintendo's really the only one that can, if you ask me. It's very rare for a $70 AAA game to even work at all, especially if you're on PC. The chance is even lower. You cannot, like, in good conscience buy a $70 game on PC these days. You have to do your research. You shouldn't have to. Nobody wants to admit that, though. Like, Nintendo can legit charge $80. And people are still gonna buy it anyway. As much as they're complaining, they're still gonna buy it. But yeah, it sets a bad precedent for everyone else to start doing it. And the quality of these games has gotten so much worse. I mean, this game is relatively bug-free until you get to the end. And there's tons of bugs. But, like, most people probably aren't even that far yet. They did deliver a mostly functional game at launch, and you shouldn't have to be applauded for that, but that's the situation we're in right now. You have to congratulate game studios for delivering something that actually works and doesn't need a fan mod or you know, waiting a month for a patch. I did like 50 hours of Warriors Abyss, yeah. That game's just kind of crap. The balancing in that game is really bad. The last couple difficulties are really unfun. It's just giving stuff more health and then taking away choices. Gets kind of old after a while, to be honest. I'm hoping the patch that's going to be this month will improve that. The game is kind of trash to play for like challenge runs and stuff. Just like playing the harder difficulties at all is pretty bad. Their idea of challenge is giving everything like 3 times the health and then making it so you never get a store and they keep taking away choices. A lot of the portals just are useless, like they give you the karma embers. I'm like, what is 500 of those gonna do me? They need to fix stuff like that and I would play that game more often. The first couple difficulties are fine. Once you get to, like, traversal level 3 is just an RNG nightmare. It's not even a fun challenge. That game's, like, worse than Isaac in terms of getting, screwed over by RNG. Which is saying something, because Isaac has, like, 1,000 items. There's so much content bloat in that game. Sometimes you just don't get anything usable. But it happens in Warriors Abyss for different reasons. It's mostly because taking the portals away doesn't make the game more challenging. It just makes it harder to get a run going. Probably Blaze Blue Entropy Effect and Astral Ascent are like way better games than Warriors Abyss. Warriors Abyss is a good game, but needs a couple more patches for sure. I don't find being screwed over by RNG to be that fun. Which is like why I don't like Isaac. Because Isaac is stat bloat, or content bloat the game. When you have like 1,000 items, it's really hard to find what you want. I don't know why they think that removing portals is difficulty. It's not difficulty. It doesn't make the game harder. It makes it take longer to kill stuff. That's literally all it does. And it's frustrating because you'll have like 40,000 money in the game, and it doesn't give you a shop. Like I don't never find that kind of difficulty fun. I reduced the in-game sound? Yeah. There you go. How's that sound? favorite roguelike, Blaze Brew, Entropy Effect, and Astral Ascent are, in my opinion, some of the best action roguelikes ever made. I thought Dead Cells was okay. I definitely didn't like that game as much as other people did, but it's very solid. But Astral Ascent and Entropy Effect are like way more my style. Excellent roguelikes, S tier. Astral Ascent is getting more DLC soon, so I'll have to start playing that again. But the way those games handle difficulty is so much better than Warriors Abyss. It's not just stat bloat. There's actual, like, good incentives for playing on the hard mode, too. That's kind of the problem with Warriors Abyss. It's like, the hard mode is not fun, right? But then there's, like, no real reward. I don't know how they didn't get that right, because there's, like, indie games like Astral Ascent made by, like, only a couple people that get that kind of thing right. Definitely a lot better when a roguelike has interesting ways to keep you playing and doing the hard content instead of just more currency. Especially because you run out of things to use it on so quick. It only takes like 15-20 hours to max out everything. But yeah, those games are, they have way better endgame content and hard modes. I'm hoping that the update for Abyss will fix that. I tried Tiny Rogues? No, which one is that? I haven't tried that one.
Wait, I don't want to fight.
No, I have not played that one. I'll say one thing about this game's New Game Plus. Legit, the only thing that's interesting about it is the gear. For a game that really takes heavy inspiration from Neo, more than like any FromSoft game, they botched the New Game Plus in this. I'll tell you what doesn't change compared to Neo. In Neo, when you go up a difficulty tier, of course there's more gear and stuff and you get more powerful, but like the enemy arrangements change and they get new moves and stuff. There's none of that at all. They basically made one playthrough and you just play through it twice. Some people are complaining that it's too easy. I'm
The
like,
Emperor's
well,
command. We were sent to quell the border conflict.
the only thing that's interesting about it is the
Pavel is
builds.
not your betrayer.
The builds get more interesting,
Pavel, time for
but
a
literally everything else is exactly the same. So since the game seems to be successful, I hope that they will iterate on that, because 2 New Game Pluses where the only thing that changes is the gear is kind of boring. I'm not even sure, like, how much longer I'm going to play this until they patch it. It really does feel like, maybe it's better to just wait. But yeah, the New Game Plus is pretty disappointing. They got it, like, mostly right, but not all the way. We'll see what that next patch does, I guess. Anyway, that's going to do it for tonight. I already did, like 3 streams of a video today. I'm going to rest. I might come back in a little bit when Sephiria comes out, but no promises. I'm going to get some rest. Good night, folks. I'll see you guys later today. Should be a Kazan stream and a kitty sitting stream today. But yeah, I've overextended today. I'm gonna get some rest. I'll see you guys later. Good night.